Hello dears, welcome back to the channel Coin Enthusiasts. Dears, today we are diving into a coin that you might see in your loose change and never think twice about, the 1980 Lincoln cent, or as it's commonly referred to, the 1-cent Liberty coin. While this coin is over 40 years old, you may be surprised to learn that some versions of the 1980 penny are worth far more than their face value due to rare mint era's special varieties and high grades. By the end of this video, you will know everything about the 1980 penny, from its fascinating history to the key elements that make some examples valuable to collectors. Whether you are looking to add to your collection or just curious about the worth of that penny sitting in your drawer, stick around. This is going to be a fun and informative deep dive into the world of coin collecting. To fully appreciate the 1980 Lincoln cent, we must first understand its place in the history of U.S. coinage. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was a groundbreaking design because Lincoln was the first historical figure to appear on a circulating U.S. coin. This design replaced the Indian head cent, which had been in use since 1859. The coin's obverse front was designed by Victor David Brenner and featured a profile of President Lincoln, which remains the most enduring element of the design to this day. Initially, the reverse back of the Lincoln cent featured 2 wheat stalks, hence the term wheat penny for the pre-1959 cents. In 1959, in honor of the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat penny design with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, designed by Frank Gasparo. This new reverse remained in circulation until 2008, and the 1980 penny falls squarely in the Lincoln Memorial cent era. While millions of these pennies were minted, certain versions of the 1980 cent, including those with rare errors and mint varieties, have become highly collectible and valuable. Its market value is $4,500 billion today. The obverse of the 1980 Lincoln cent is nearly identical to the original 1909 design by Victor David Brenner. It features a right-facing bust of President Lincoln accompanied by the inscriptions "Liberty" to the left and "I in God We Trust" above his head. The date 1980 is prominently displayed to the right of Lincoln's bust, and depending on the mint, you will find either no mint mark AD for Denver or an S for the San Francisco proof versions. The reverse side of the 1980 Lincoln cent features the Lincoln Memorial as designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely at the memorial, you will see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside a tribute to the statue found in the actual Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The reverse also carries the inscriptions "United States of America" above the memorial, with "E pluribus unum," which means "out of many one" beneath it. The denomination 1 cent is inscribed at the bottom of the coin. The composition of the 1980 Lincoln cent is crucial to understanding its context. From 1909 until 1982, the Lincoln cent was made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, a formula known as bronze. Copper had become increasingly expensive by the late 1970s, which eventually led the U.S. Mint to change the composition of the penny in 1982 to a zinc core with a thin copper plating. However, the 1980 penny still retained the 95% copper composition, making it one of the last years of what collectors refer to as copper pennies. Each 1980 penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams, and given the rising value of copper over the years, even the metal content of this penny makes it worth more than just 1 cent. In 1980, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents across its 3 primary facilities: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D Mint Mark, and San Francisco S Mint Mark for proof coins. Here's a breakdown of the mintage numbers. Over 7.4 billion pennies were minted at the Philadelphia facility in 1980. Roughly 5.1 billion pennies were minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the small d mark next to the date. The San Francisco Mint struck about 3.5 million proof pennies in 1980, which were not meant for circulation but for collectors. Proof coins are struck using specially polished dies, giving them a mirror-like finish and exceptionally sharp details. The majority of 1980 Lincoln cents are worth face value or slightly more due to their copper content. However, certain rare errors and varieties can make these pennies worth much more to collectors. Let's explore some of the most valuable varieties of the 1980 penny. A double die obverse error happens when the die used to strike the coin has shifted, creating a doubling effect on the design elements. For the 1980 penny, there are known examples of double die errors, especially in the date, and inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust. Depending on the severity of the doubling, these coins can be worth anywhere from 50 to over 1,000. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not correctly aligned with the die during the minting process, resulting in a coin that appears off balance with part of the design missing. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 1980 penny with a significant off-center strike can be worth 100 to 500 depending on how much of the design is missing. Die cracks occur when the die used to strike the coin develops small cracks, causing raised lines to appear on the coin's surface. Die cracks are generally not as valuable as double die or off-center errors, but they are still of interest to collectors. A 1980 penny with a noticeable die crack can fetch anywhere from 10 to 50. A clipped planchet error happens when the blank piece of metal planchet used to strike the coin is improperly cut, resulting in a coin with a section missing. Clipped planchet errors are relatively rare, and a 1980 penny with this type of error could be worth 50 to 300. As mentioned earlier, the San Francisco Mint produced proof pennies in 1980 for collectors. These coins are struck with more precision and detail than regular circulation coins, giving them a distinctive mirror-like appearance. A 1980 proof penny in pristine condition graded PR 69 or PR 70 can be worth between 5 and 50 depending on its condition and demand. When it comes to determining the value of any coin, condition is one of the most important factors. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect coin with no signs of wear or damage. Higher grade coins are more valuable to collectors because they are rarer and have retained their original luster and details. Most 1980 pennies found in circulation show signs of wear, which reduces their value. A 1980 penny in good G4 to about uncirculated 58 Australian dollars condition is typically worth only its copper melt value, which is around 2 to 3 cents. Mint state MS coins are uncirculated and show no signs of wear, although they may have minor imperfections from the minting process. A 1980 penny in MS65 or higher condition can be worth 5 to 20 depending on its quality and demand. Coins with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal marks are highly sought after by collectors. Proof coins are specially made for collectors and are generally not meant for circulation. A proof 1980 penny in near perfect condition PR 69 or PR 70 can be worth between 10 and 50. Proof coins are more valuable because of their striking quality and the limited number produced. Dears, if you found this video informative and want to learn more about coin collecting, rare coins, and how to discover the value in your pocket change, be sure to like, please.